Thank you and greetings from Botswana, Gaborone, and also greetings for the month of Mama. I would in essence say that I came to Baba in a very young age. And of course, born and brought up in Africa, I had never lived in India. And so I had many different experiences in the Yagya, being with Baba and as Brahma Kumari. I would like to first just share my own little experience that when I came to Baba and I wanted to dedicate my life service, as Baba talked about surrendering. So in those days, they used to use the word surrender. And I heard one class in Madhuban by, not even a class actually, it was Sister Prem's experience about Mama. When I heard that, I told myself, Pratibha, you have to completely die. You can't just surrender and think the way you're thinking. Because ever since a very young age, and ever since I started understanding things, everything was just why, and why. If I don't get a proper answer to it, then I would just not do that. And here Baba says, stop why, what, where, how, who. And so that was a very inquisitive mind this soul had. Anyway, the incident I will share with all of you. Sister Prem was only 15 and she was in Madhuban with Sakar Baba and Mama. I have not met Sakar Baba or Mama because double foreigners service started in 1974. And so I have not met them, but I've met a lot of people who have met them. And so they were having a walk in Pandav Bhavan, Baba, Mama, and this little Sister Prem. And so Baba just told Sister Prem, Prem Bajji, just push that little bed under the big bed. And she already replied to Baba saying, Baba, I can already see that the little bed can't be pushed underneath. It won't fit. Baba didn't say anything. He just walked away and she followed and Mama followed. And then at night, Mama sent someone to call Sister Prem to her room. When she went, Mama very seriously said, Prem, today you are failed. And she was like, what did I do that I'm failed? Because if you, 15-year-old, could see that bed would not fit under the big bed, Baba still told you to do that. And you replied back and said, I can already see it, it won't fit. So you failed. If you could see, Baba could definitely see. Baba wanted to see how much surrender intellect you are. And you failed in there. So when I heard this sister sharing her experience, I was like, I don't know how many times I would fail. And so that was one principle I had to follow before even dedicated my life to the BK life. And so I told myself, you can't use a lot of your intellect. You have to be obedient. So that was one. Of course, it's not 100% yet in the soul, but it's there. A lot is there. And so when I dedicated, and it's been about 44 years now in this life and serving in different parts of the world. And so it's the surrender intellect, not the surrender body, that would help you in this life. The other thing I had heard from Ramesh Bhai Shah, Mumbai, that Mama was such a balance of love and law. She was very loveful as a mother, but as mothers can be quite lawful to teach the children, Mama also had that quality in her. But she had a very big heart. So one time Ramesh Bhai asked Mama, Mama, so many people come to you, not to Baba, and they start complaining and bring told stories to you, so-called stories in the yajna. And so, Mama, how do you deal with that? And Mama gave a wonderful reply to that, that I am not judgmental. I don't judge anyone. If one side comes and tells me about the other side, I just hear them and I am very neutral. And how do you do that? Because the moment you hear one side of the story, you become judgmental for the other one, that yes, this other one is like. So Mama said, I always keep this in my consciousness that Baba has come to establish a kingdom. And in the kingdom, you have everybody number wise. So you can't judge and say, this one is like this or this one is like that. But it's all number wise, it's okay. Let's allow everybody to be what they are and help them with an open heart. And so Mama's heart was so big as a mother that she actually accepted everybody the way they are without being judgmental. And then there was another experience of Sister Mohini, little Mohini, not our senior sister Mohini Ben from New York, but the sister in Madhuban. And so that was a very interesting experience. She was so young when she came to Baba. And so one time there was a group leaving, going back to their service field. It was a group in Pandav Bhavan. Baba Mama used to go out and Baba used to wave with a white handkerchief and send off Baba's children. I remember when we first came to Baba and we were in Madhuban, the first time in 1974. In those days, Dadi Prakashmani, Badi Didi Manmohini ji, and Brother Nirvair, Dada Naran, they also used to do the same. They will come out in the courtyard and wave us. Brother Nirvair would use a white handkerchief and wave us, so I can visualize that. And so Baba was just talking to this group. And Baba says, Mama, feed these children sabudana halwa. And she said, yes, Baba. That was another quality of Mama, Haji. Yes, Master. Ji ha, yes, Master. She did not argue. She did not ask question to Baba. She straight went in the kitchen. And Sister Mohini was saying, Mama, why are you making this halwa? The group is already outside. They are leaving. But Mama didn't say a word, and in silence she was making this. It takes time. And of course, Baba was saying bye to this group. The group already was going. They were ready to leave. And here the halwa of tapioca was being made. And on the other side, the group was leaving. And this little Sister Mohini was wondering what was happening. Why is Mama not asking question to Baba? She was so obedient that her quality was of Haji Jiha. Here we would ask so many questions. Baba, why are you asking me to make this? And they're already out, they're preparing to leave, they're already gone, you know. And Mama carried on making that halwa in Baba's remembrance. And then when it was ready, Mama brought it to Baba in a container. And Baba did not say, or the group has gone nothing. Baba very sweetly said, who would take this to the group to the bus station? And one of the brothers offered that I'll take it. Mama didn't say a word, but she was silently looking at what was happening. And of course, the brother cycled and went to the bus station and stopped the bus because it was going. And finally, he could give that container of halwa to the group. Now, here we wonder, we're so fast in this day and age. And so we would ask a lot of questions. We would at least think a lot that how could Baba ask to make this halwa when a group was just leaving and going out? But Baba is multitasking. He's looking at the group. He's also looking at how obedient Baba's children are, including Mama. And Mama would pass with honor in this. She was so stable that she wouldn't ask Baba anything and just Haji, Ji Ha, yes, Master, and she would do what she needs to do. And the Master will decide what to do next, and he already decided. Ultimately, they got that Tholi, and so everybody passed. And can you just think or imagine in this very fast age, our thoughts go like lightning. And of course, I was a teenager when I came to Baba. And when I heard these little examples, it didn't put me off or tell me, no, no, this is not your work. You can't go and become a Brahma Kumari because you have thoughts like lightning, but we learn lessons from there. Not only lessons, but also what you say is inspirations. And so I always, um, learned and took inspiration from these little examples and stories, whoever may have shared it. And that was like Mama was an inspiration in my life. There's another example or a little experience I read somewhere, and that was of Brother Ramesh saying the last days of Mama when she was not well. And that was in April 1965. Um, and Mama was touring. Mama was going from one city to the other, to the other. She was not in Madhuban that time. And so from Kanpur, the instrument soul called Brother Ramesh and said, Mama was supposed to come to Mumbai, but now they have seen that there's a lump in Mama's, breast. And so she's going straight to Madhuban and not coming to Mumbai. So Ramesh Bhai was like, why do we want to delay? She should come straight to Mumbai and we will actually get opinion from another doctor. But the instrument brother in Kanpur said, Baba has said, send Mama straight to Madhuban. In those days, of course, phones wasn't very easy. In fact, when I came to Baba in Madhuban, of course, there was no phone system then also. So you can imagine what it was like in the 60s. And he called Baba, Sakar Baba, and Ramesh Bhai said to Sakar Baba, Baba, why do you want Mama to go to Madhuban and not coming straight to Mumbai? Because at least we cannot delay and get another opinion from another doctor. And Baba became very quiet, silent, and he could feel the silence. And then Baba told Brother Ramesh, Baba would also like that only, that Mama comes straight to Mumbai. It was early days of Mumbai service. There were not many centers there like what we have now. And so Baba is thinking, we will this world empress stay in Mumbai when she comes with this health. And Brother Ramesh was just so taken away that Baba was not looking at Mama as Mama, but Baba was looking at Mumbai as a world empress. And you know how Mumbai has little rooms and little places. And Ramesh Bhai said, Baba, she can be with us at home. Baba says, but you've newly moved somewhere and it might be very small and it might not be comfortable for Mama. And Ramesh Bhai answered back to Baba saying, Mama will stay with us. We will try and make her comfortable. And Baba, the first thing is I have a doctor in the family. Ramesh Bhai's Lokik's sister, Dr. Anila, was right there, newly, qualified as a doctor. And so she can take care of Mama very nicely. And Baba was so convinced. Baba says, sure. And Mama came to Mumbai. So it's not that Baba would control and not allow anybody to give suggestions or opinions, but Baba gave us a balance of Haji, but also a child and a master. Whenever you need to become a master, you can even talk to Baba. But whenever you need to become a child, you can become a child. And so Mama was also like that, a child and a master. She was a daughter of Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba, but also she was a mother of the institution. So she had two qualities in her of a child and a master. And that was also so lovely that, that was a wonderful experience. In between, I will talk about my experience. As I told you, I was very young when I came to Baba, only 13. I was in high school and I came to Baba and I took decision for myself that this is the lifestyle I would like to lead, a Brahma Kumari lifestyle. In those days, there were no role model in Africa because I was the first Kumari in Africa and a first teacher in Africa. We had sisters, Vedanti, Sister Shelo, Sister Chandru, all of them were coming from India serving in Africa. And so when I said I want to become a sister, everybody, especially my extended Lokik family, not my parents and my immediate family, but my extended Lokik family means my cousins and all of them, they said, this is not our work. This is not, you can't do it, you know. And I said, that who can do it? Say, only sisters from India can do it. You're from Africa, you can't do this, you know. And I was like, why? I was surprised. And they told me, one of my cousins told me, you've been brought up in a very luxurious environment. And then if you go to the Brahma Kumaris, you won't get that luxury there. So you won't be able to lead this life. And she used the word, it is only for poor people. And I was like, what? And I asked her, can you please define what poor means? What is poor? And she said, poor means poor. I said, you're very right. It is for poor people, but the definition is not very right. I said, it is for poor people. Somebody is poor from knowledge. Somebody is poor with wealth. Somebody is poor with love. Somebody is poor with, relationships. And so I am poor with knowledge. I'm receiving such beautiful knowledge in this life of Brahma Kumari that I would love to serve other souls equally. And this cousin of mine was very surprised when she understood the definition of poor. And I always used to understand that Baba in Sakarmuli sometimes mentioned, look, Mama came from a simple, humble family and she's become a world empress. Huh? And Baba gave all his wealth into the Yagya, and he also became a world emperor. So in this Yagya or in this life, it is not the status of the world, whether you come from a rich family or a poor family, but it is your efforts, your dedication, which will help you to create your status. And so I was inspired very much. And when I took this decision, and I came to the Yagya, oh, the Brahma Kumari centers used to be so simple. Sometimes only one little room, very simple. That one room can be your classroom, it can be your, dining, it can be your bedroom, it can be everything, you know. And you have a little kitchen, and that turns into a classroom. And I experienced that in many places. I enjoyed my Brahmin life, my surrender life, and my um, service wherever I was, in whatever condition I was. I never felt that because Nairobi Center is so posh and very big and with a lot of facility, and I've been sent to another center where I would feel I need to do this and I need to do that. No, nothing like that. Wherever I was very dedicated with my mind and intellect, and I would serve from my inner self. That inspiration was from Mama. That wherever Mama went, her personality wasn't what the environment and things around are, but her personality was her inner inculcation, inner dharana, inner maryadas of the Brahmin life. And so that was a lovely inspiration I received from Mama. I would also like to share one experience of my own, that when we came to Baba as a family, my Lokik uncle Rambai Patel and my father, everybody knows him as Kaka and Kaki, my mother. Kaka is late. He left his body 6 years ago, but very, very responsible Brahmin. And Kaki is still around. She's with me in the center here in Botswana and serving still now also. So I have both parents Brahmins, very strong Brahmins, but it wasn't because of my parents that I became a Brahma Kumari. It was only me. And we came to Baba on 22nd of June, 1974. That is my Alokik birthday, very soon round the corner. And so it will be 48 years. But what was very interesting, that it was Mama's day round the corner also. And Dadi, in those days, Baba used to grow this, grapes. I think it Mama who did it. I don't know. I might be wrong. But Mama's favorite fruit was grapes. And that grape garden near Baba's hut in Pandavavan, now it's not there, but it used to be there. And in season, they used to have a lot of grapes there. And Baba used to send these grapes in all the centers, um, Mama's Day Bhog, in those days, India only. But when we were born spiritually, Lusaka, Dadi also followed the same trend, that Baba would send this grapes, so Dadi would also send these grapes, little, little, little. I don't know how they used to do it, but in all the centers in India. So Dadi also sent a little packet with a bottle to Lusaka. And what was it? It was grapes jam, just very near to, I mean, it wasn't 24th June that we got it, some later time, because it had to come from Mount Abu to Lusaka. That time we were based in Lusaka. We had a Gitapat Shala, no center at that time, the first Mama's Day. And so we were told that this is the little gem, and little Toli was given to us of that gem. And we were so happy. We were happy that we got this. And we also offered grapes to Mama. So every 24th of June in Bhog, we would offer grapes as Mama's favorite fruit. And I was so happy. I was so young that we had a little bit of that gem from Baba's garden. I also had later on when I was in Madhuban, I also had the opportunity to have the grapes from Baba's garden, but that was like the early days of the Yagya. Not only grapes, but this is not Mama's experience, but my own experience. That when I was in Madhuban in 1975, I was there for a longer time because I had school holidays. And one day, Badi Didi in class and Dadi Ji, so Badi Didi is Manmohini Didi, and Dadi was Prakashmani Dadi. We used to call her Kumarka Dadi, very friendly way of calling her. And so they were talking about Mani and Makhan, and I had no idea. I hardly could understand Hindi. And Dadi says, today we are going to give you Mani and Makhan for Toli. And I was wondering what that was. I was the only double foreigner at that time in Madhuban. And so, near Tower of Peace, Shanti Stham, Dadi and Badi Didi sat there on a little stool, and there was a charcoal stove put there. And one sister was sitting down and rolling little rotis like this, chapatis, and they were roasting it very hot and fresh there only near the Tower of Peace. And then Badi Didi and Dadi would put homemade butter, makhan, you know, on that hot chapati, little sugar and little almond and pistachio chopped. And then Didi would put it in our mouth. And I was like, I didn't like the butter. So I was so like going in the queue behind and behind, looking at everybody eating with a lot of love. And my turn came, and Didi just put her hand on my forehead and said, just eat it, And Didi put it in my mouth. I never even felt I was eating butter in that, little roti. But it was so nice, so nice. I've never ever had that before. As Toli, that was the first time and the last time. And so whether it was Mama, whether it was Baba, whether our dadis, Madhuban, the Tolis were Tolis, very special with a lot of love. And, it's so different now that now being all the classes online mainly, Toli has become an issue. Even if I want to share Toli with all of you, it's just virtual Toli and not real one. Otherwise, a lot of people don't even eat this, and they're, vegan, and they don't eat wheat, and they don't eat this. But in those days, there was nothing like that. We were all so innocent, and time was so pure, environment was so pure. And the yagya had all the seniors around, buzzing yagya, and it was so lovely. So I always love this song, वो दिन भी बहुत प्यारे थे और ये दिन भी बहुत प्यारे हैं. And so those days were very nice. And even these days are very nice. Because very soon we're going to pass through these days and we're going to say, the lockdown was so good. There was so much silence. There was so much of yoga and all that. So every moment in the confidence age is very beautiful. These are the lovely memories which we need to live with. Now, my personal experience, nothing about Mama, but I will tell you one first experience I had even before I heard Baba's knowledge. My Lokik uncle met the Brahmakumaris in 1970 in Mumbai. And the first Brahmakumari sister he met was Sister Vedanti. She was in the Mumbai center. So he arrived at the doorstep, and Sister Vedanti invited him and shared the knowledge. And he was like, the arrow just hit the target. And he says, I want to take you to Africa. Of course, it's an institution. You can't just make decisions. He went to Madhuban, long story short, and spoke to Dadi and everybody. Dadi says, yes, we'll organize. And so in Pandav Bhavan, where there is a bookshop, but before there was only a tiny little door near the Krishna's picture. And that tiny door was the bookshop. You know, my uncle went into that bookshop and he bought all the literature which was in there, all the literature, you know, and he shipped it to Zambia, to Lusaka. And he was on a world trip, business trip, so he carried on with that. So when the shipment came to Zambia, my cousins don't understand what this was, so they called my Lockheed father and said, Kaka, come and please see what this is. Their father has sent this, you know. So my father went there and he saw it was all spiritual books and he's never seen anything like this before, you know. So he took a decision that maybe because the sister-in-law, that is my aunt, left the body in 1969 or something like that. So maybe it's in memorial of her. So we're supposed to distribute. So they started distributing. Every Indian family in Zambia was sent a book, a literature of Baba's house. In those days, we didn't have much of English literature. We only had 1 week course, an orange book. So that was sent to those who understand English. But otherwise, it was like Hindi and Gujarati. So that was sent. And in our house in 1970, the time I was very young, 4 years before we came to Baba, a book came. It was known as Pictorial Album, Pictorial Exhibition. And I don't think I've seen that book anywhere in the Yagya. Maybe somebody in the early days might have it in their home, but we don't have it in any of the centers. And it was very colorful with the tracing paper like an album in between the pages to protect the colorful pictures. And those pictures were of Gyan, Baba, Mama, Tower of Peace, of ladder, tree, three worlds, Shiv Baba, all these things, all course was in there. And it was this size like this. And we used to call it that album, and we used to give course from that in those days. So that book came into our house, and I was so attracted to that colorful book. So I opened and I was sitting on the floor in my mom's room, and I was quietly going through the whole book, looking at the colorful pictures. And suddenly my mother came and said, "What are you doing here on the floor?" I said, "Look, I'm seeing this book." She took it away. She was treating it as a holy book. And she says, "You can't put it on the floor. What are you doing? Bring that book." And I gave it to her, but I said, "Look, I want to show you something in there." I said, "I know somebody in that book." And she says, "You can't know anybody in that book. Just bring it. I want to put it up there." I said, "But wait, I want to show you something." And I opened that page with Brahma Baba and Mama sitting. Mama, I did not recognize, but Brahma Baba, I recognized him so well. And I told her, "I know this person." And she says, "You can't know him. He is God. He's not here. He's in heaven." I said, "No, but I know him. I insisted that I know him." But it was 2 pictures. Mama was sitting like this with her hand, and Baba was just sitting, the way he sits in the trance lights in Baba's rooms. And I told my mother, "I know him very well." That was the first time I saw, Yagya's book. I saw Baba Mama, and my mother put it away. But when the sisters came, well, not sisters, but Brother Ramesh and Ushabin first came, and when we saw Brahma Baba's picture, I could relate to that very much. I have no idea where it comes from. Some people tell me maybe you are a, last birth Brahmin, or some people say, it's a memory of the last Kalpa. I don't know what it is, but that was a very, very clear experience of Baba and Mama sitting in that page and looking at Baba Mama. But Mama I didn't recognize, Baba I recognized very clearly. And so the soul had that seeds in the self. and it just germinated with time. It wasn't that because of my lucky parents I came to Baba. It wasn't that I was forced, but it was so natural that this Brahmin life and Brahma Kumari life flowed through all these years. Of course, all my seniors, you know, supported me and gave me so much blessings. But I always felt I didn't see Baba and Mama. I wanted to see Baba and Mama. And I got my training as a Brahma Kumari with Nirmal Shanta Dadi in Calcutta. And so when I spent only 1 month in my BK training in Calcutta, that's when, that wish was over also, that I spent time with Nirmal Shanta Dadi, and I felt I spent time with Baba, Brahma Baba. And otherwise, all the senior dadis, whatever the number of dadis were, apart from Mama and Baba leaving the body, we took sustenance from all of them, very closely. Bari Didi, Manmohini Didi, whose day is also coming round the corner. We took sustenance from all of them in the early days. In fact, we used to have our meals with the dadis. We were the first family in those days, and Dadi, Didi, everybody used to have our lunch and dinner with us. So we spent valuable times with everybody. Um, Lastly, I would like to share a very, interesting, shall I say, joke or inspiration? I don't know. But, uh, in Africa, especially in Kenya, no, but in Africa, we have house helpers, and they are like family members to us. Even in our centers, we have helpers who help us. They're local African brothers and sisters, but they are, like a family member. We treat them as a family member, and I've been brought up with nannies and helpers, as a child also. But when I have been serving in Kenya, and that's my base for the last 44 years, and there is this one brother who works for a Brahmin family, and it's a huge family who is in knowledge, the grandmother and then their daughters and their husbands and children. So there are many homes around. And one day he says, Sister Pratibha, I don't know that your photo is in every daughter of this grandmother, you know. Everywhere there's photos, And why? I am very fascinated. Your photos are everywhere. And I was also very surprised. I said, what do you mean? I don't understand. And then he says, the granny's elder daughter, the other daughter, like, 5 or 6 daughters, whatever the number is. Every home have big photos framed and put on the wall everywhere. And I was like, that's not my photo. And I understood when he showed me, it was Mama's photo, you know. And I said, no, this is not my photo. It is the mother of the institution, and she's an inspiration to all of you, all of us, and we learn a lot from Mama. And so when I came to Baba, I was so young, very thin, very, very, so my traffic control came through. So I was so young and thin, and there was always one consciousness, and the consciousness was we are just little Kumaris. And one time somebody must have commented, you Kumaris don't know anything, you have no experience of the world. How are you going to share knowledge to the world? And so that stuck into the mind. So one time I told Baba in a trance message, and I wrote to Baba that, Baba, I am very young, I am a little Kumari, and nobody wants to listen to knowledge through us. They want a senior sister or an elder sister. And Baba in return gave me a blessing. Baba says, you are not a little Kumari, You are world mother. You're Jagadamba. You are a world mother. Don't ever consider yourself to be a Kumari, a little Kumari. Always consider yourself to be a world mother. And from that time, the consciousness changed so much that I'm not a little Kumari, but I'm a world mother. So then your heart becomes very unlimited and you want to love and respect every soul which comes in front of you. Your heart becomes very unconditional. There is no condition that because this person respects me, I respect this one, and that person doesn't respect me, so I don't respect them. No, unconditional means whatever may be, I must respect, I must love, I must take care of all the souls around me, whether they are young or old, whether whatever color, nationality, whichever country. And today I was listening to a class from Sister Asha ORC. She must have given that class somewhere many long time ago, but she was talking about, when teachers say this is my student and this is my center and this is my area and this is my field. um, I feel in Africa, serving as a teacher is a blessing in disguise. Why blessing in disguise is that there are some teachers who's been in the same center for last 50, 60 years. The same center, the same students are there. Others, new ones come, but they get the same teacher, they get the same teachers, students, and this is my area, my students, my service, my field. Of course, here in Africa, majority, not all, but majority of us wouldn't say this is my center. Wherever you go, due to visa issues, wherever you go is your center. And wherever you go are Baba's students. You are instrument to take care of them. And my Baba's house and my field of service, my Baba's field of service. So you do it from your heart. You don't take care of Baba's house because it's that sister's center. No, it is your Baba's house and you need to take care of it with that love and care. So we have a blessing in disguise in Africa. One moment we are there, and one moment we are here. We are not in one place. I've not been in Nairobi for so many months now because of lockdown, but also other things. But I know drama has a very deep significance. So at the moment, I am sharing from Botswana, Gaborone, and Ranjin Bin, do we want to continue or any questions or any suggestions? Please let me know.
Um, is there anyone who has any question? If not, then I would ask you one question that from
Yes,
your
please.
learning, inspiration from Mama, is there anything that you would give us as like tip for those who are listening? And so
Sure.
how we can be close to Mama? What effort or what we need to do now so that we can
Um,
feel
let us
close to Mama?
let us all
Yeah.
take this inspiration from Mama wherever she is. We don't need to worry where she is because when we came to Baba in the early days, oh, there was a trend. Mama is here, Mama is there. We need to meet her. All these things. But Baba always tells us that wherever Baba or Mama is, they are watching us and they have the drishti on us. So I personally feel all our advanced party or the dadis or Baba Mama, we are under their canopy. I feel that always, wherever I am, my seniors canopy. And so I always have this consciousness that I'm sitting under the umbrella, the protection of Mama and Baba and the Yakya. When I say Yakya, everything comes in there. All the good wishes, all the blessings, all the purity, Everything comes there. So can we all take that inspiration today that I am under the protection of Baba and Mama. I'm sitting under a canopy. And you must have seen that, all the kings and the queens always have a little, canopy like a umbrella made of gold, silver, whatever it is. And even on the path of worshipping in temples, they have that. And so I always feel I am under that canopy. Wherever I am, whatever may the situation be, whatever the language, challenging field of service, efforts, whatever it is, all these illnesses, COVID-19 pandemic, whatever it is, we are all protected. And we all need to make efforts and achieve what we need to and reach our destination. And so, one, I am under this canopy of protection of Baba and Mama and the Yagya. So, in the Yagya, everything comes. Two, I am also protected with purity, my shield of purity. So, it's like I'm covered. And so, Mama dedicated her life with a very quick decision. She was very young, she was approximately 16, 17, and Baba asked her a very serious question. Child, do you want to marry a person with a trouser, a pant, or you want to marry a person with a pitambar? Pitambar means, what Narayan wears. And she just was silent. And she told Baba, I want to be with pitambar, that is what Narayan wears, and not pant. And Mama made a lot of efforts from then till the end, but she never showed that she was making efforts. And what was her best quality was she was very mature, not serious, but she was very mature. Although her age was young, but she was mature. So we take that maturity in us, age physically and spiritually. So if you are very young in your spiritual path, let the maturity come into the soul. If you're physically young, people will keep on saying, you're so young, you can't do this. Don't ever let that consciousness come in. Whatever may the age be or the body be, but I am a mature soul. I'm an ancestor soul. So let's take that inspiration from Mama for the month of June and go ahead. And lastly, I would like to tell you that we in Africa are doing a very interesting project now. We've been having Godly Power Bank for some time now, nearly 1 year now. Not yet a year, it will be a year in August, but we are enjoying every different program. But now the month of June, Mama's month, from 1st June till 30th of June, we are doing a game. And this game is the treasure, sharing the treasure of experience. And here I am sharing with all of you. I feel very fortunate. So we just simply pick up the phone, that's WhatsApp, it's not a big thing, or even an email. And any Brahmin in Africa, wherever we are, you know, we just call them, we tell them who we are, and give them space. And then very short conversation, not long, that I want to share my little experience or my inspiration or my dharana, and create that zeal and enthusiasm on the other side. Sometimes in COVID, people are alone. They're just locked up in the house. Sometimes they're not well. A lot of things are there. They can't go to the center. They are, doing class online. So we just very simple share. And so I've been sharing, keep flying and make others fly. And this is the slogan. I don't want to walk. I don't want to run. I don't want to have high jump, but I just want to fly. Because in flying, we don't have so many obstacles. We are very light and we will reach our destination very quickly. Thank you and Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Pratibha Ben, and everyone who have attended this program. We really appreciate your time and being with us this morning. I think, Pratibha Ben, it would be nice if you can do meditation for a couple of minutes.
Sure.
Then we will depart. But yes, we would like you to come to Dallas whenever lockdown is open.
Oh, thank you
And
very
so,
much. I was doing early birds, isn't it?
right,
It was
right.
lovely.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vedanti Ben came once, now it's your turn. So yes, thank you
Thank
so
you for the
much
warm
for
invitation.
making time for us. Thank you, everyone.
Together with Drishti, I would share a few thoughts, an inspiration for this month of Mama. Just visualize that Shiv Baba, through Baba and Mama, in a very subtle form, are sustaining us wherever they are. Baba is protecting me. Mama is sending that sakash to me, and I am that fortunate soul under the canopy of protection, the canopy of power, the canopy of light, purity, power, and knowledge. I am connected through the ocean of knowledge to my ancestor souls. And these ancestor souls are protecting me. With that force, I just give Sakash to the world. Om Shanti. And I owe you a totally as Ranjan Bed invited me whenever. Om Shanti.
Sure. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Fatima Ben. We really appreciate your time and everyone. Even Spanish translation was going on, Pratima Ben, and in Hindi also. So everyone took benefit of your sharing and of course your inspiration, and really felt being at distance we are together, right? This yagya is for us.
Yes.
We belong to one family and we feel so close. And so I really appreciate everyone's presence. And so thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.